Hello, hello, hello. This is Kiraimi ASMR. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, today's video will be soft spoken rather than my usual whispering, and the topic is my stygian onslaught dire clear. Yay, yay. This is the first time I was able to clear dire all 3 stages and get the weapon skins, which I'm super excited about. And the teams I used are there. As you can see, I have already cleared, but I thought that it would be fun to make a video showing my clears, showing me re-clearing all the stages in order and all at once. And as you can see, this video is relatively long because the 3rd stage in particular was quite difficult and required many retries because I only have C0 Arlecchino. And the 2nd stage was also rather finicky because I don't have sustain on my nefer team. The 1st stage was really easy thanks to my C6 Furina, C6 Furina, and my C1 Molani. And of course, Klee was great for pyro application there. But yeah, since my Furina was C6, being able to use her and Molani to vape on a pyro infused herra was very effective. So that was my strategy. Zhongli there for res shred and shielding, and you can technically put instructors on him too to make it better, but I didn't need to, so I didn't do that. And my 2nd team is my nefer premium team featuring C2 Nilu as the hydro applicator. I got her C2 recently in the Constellation event. And finally, my Arlecchino team. It was a little bit scuffed because my Arle is C0 only. And I also really wanted to use my Yaimiko, who is C3. And that made the rotations longer and more finicky, but we eventually did it. Yay. So it is Arlecchino Overload. With Bennett, of course. And yeah, so those are the teams I will be using. I will also be trying to kind of explain my strategy a little bit throughout this video, though sometimes there isn't really that much to say when I'm doing a bunch of retries, so I will also bring out some triggers like mic scratching and tapping. But yeah, here is the first boss. Yeah, I have Favonius on Zhongli and Klee, and I put Furina on Numa mode to gain energy here as well, so I can charge her burst. And yeah, you can see her burst is now ready, and we are using it, and then a few normals to trigger her C6 healing, and then it's just a very simple Molani rotation, although you can see here that I did all 3 bites and a burst because my rotations are longer with Furina. So, yep, you can see they are absolutely demolishing this herra. And you know what? I only just now realized that the color changes depending on the elemental infusion. Wow, that's a neat detail. Huh. Yeah, I guess I was previously just so focused on combat whenever I fought the herra that I never noticed that. But that's quite nice. That's quite nice. And then, yeah, we almost got it in the first rotation, and then, yep, Glee managed to pyro infuse again very easily, and now we are back to Hydro Girlies doing crazy amounts of damage. And let's see. Oh yeah, I think we're almost off. There we go. There we go. Very easy, very easy. It only took one try to clear that. I think it could be faster if I used instructor's trolley, but I kind of hate moving artifacts around if I don't need to. So, yeah. Alright, now for this clear, I took inspiration from DHSC. I'm not quite sure, but there's a YouTuber who makes really cool genshin gameplay clears, and the name of that channel starts with DH, I think. But yeah, I took inspiration from that video for this nefer premium team rotation, including my strategy for timing the rotations so that I can avoid getting hit by the lightkeeper enough to clear without dying. Although you can see that it takes a few tries to get that right. But yeah, Z1 never does so much damage. Oof. And so does that lightkeeper. The lightkeeper also does so much damage. But yeah, I'm very happy that I can use Nilou with this team. Yeah, and as you can hear, I have brought out my keyboard, or not brought it out, it has been here, but I am starting to do some keyboard sounds as well. I know a lot of you really like the sound of my keyboard, and I am now putting the information about its specs in the description of every video that I feature it in case you are interested in getting a similar one for yourself. But yeah, this portion of the video is just a bunch of unfortunate fails of me getting beat up by this lightkeeper guy, unfortunately. Also, do note that this is possible with C0 nefer as well. In fact, in DH something's original video, the nefer there was C1, though I think it was also the creator experience server version, which had 100 extra EM, so it will be tighter than in that video. And I think that person's nefer had really good stats as well, and unfortunately my nefer does not. Her artifacts are very bad, because I haven't really farmed that domain enough. I've been just using all my resin building characters, basically. So many new characters to build. I do want to get a good set for her eventually, but yeah, with my current artifacts, I think I kind of needed C1 to have enough damage. I love seeing Nefer's burst. The animation is so good, so good. Some notes for any of you who might also be trying to clear this boss with nefer. Since if you're doing a charged attack with dash cancels like I am here, it's actually usually optimal to use nefer's burst every rotation as well if you can, because that buys us enough time to charge more of the moon stacks for her verdant to do. I'm not quite sure what those moon stacks are called, but yeah. And her burst also does a non-negligible amount of damage. Non-negligible. So, some energy recharge is nice on her if you can. And here I'm doing her burst between her E's. So it'll be E, charge, dash, charge, dash, charge, dash, Q, then another set of E, charge, dash, charge, dash, charge, dash. Also, my charge cancels are not super clean here because nefer is still very new for me, so I'm not super used to playing her. But hopefully, my gameplay quality for nefer will improve over time. But yeah, with C1, it's still fine. I think if I had C1 llama as well, this would be a very, very comfy team. Though I do suspect that Columbina will probably have healing of some sort because both Flynn's and Nefer are lacking healers in their team. In their current premium teams without C1 Llama. Though I guess Flynn's has a Nefa who provides enough sustain. But yeah, we got there eventually. I don't quite remember which run was the successful one, but I think I have said what I wanted to say about this team and this clear. So let me do a little bit of mic scratching. I don't know if any of you watch Maeve ASMR, but she does a lot of mic scratching, and I discovered her channel recently, and also know that mic scratching isn't for everyone, so I will mark this section with timestamps for anyone who wants to skip it. I think this next clear might be the successful one. We'll see, we'll see. Yeah, also for any new havers who don't know about her normal E cast that you can do, I guess you can, well, I messed it up there, but you can do E normal E for a faster cast of her water ring, like that, see? Otherwise, if you press E all the way, it's quite a bit slower. Wait, I think this might be it. This might be the successful run. Let's see. Yeah. The downside of the normal E for Nilu is that it's also kind of easy to mess it up sometimes and accidentally press normal too many times. So be careful about that. Yep. It looks like this run is going smoothly, and I used Q to iframe that big attack. And yeah, I think this is the successful run. Alright. Yep. And yeah, we got Nahida's E on all of them because she has Dendro, the Deep Wood Memory set. While Nilu is low on HP, she was very helpfully tanking a lot of hits for me. I think for this team you could also put her on instructors, but since I have her weapon, she does give a decent EM boost with high HP here too. And of course, the Nod Cry resonance boost. But yeah, there we go. We have cleared the second stage as well. And now moving on to the Frost operative. Oh man, this one took me so long for my first clear. It's very finicky, and yeah, getting enough DPS to clear is pretty difficult. But yeah, I think for my clear as well, my gameplay isn't quite clean enough to kind of execute everything perfectly. So I ended up figuring out how to instead shorten the boss attack rotations so that it would get its third shield up faster. Like you can see in this run, the second shield went up at around the 1 minute mark, which is too late to clear the third shield. Like ideally you want the second shield to go up at around 1 minute and 18 seconds, just about. And then the third shield would go up at about 40 seconds remaining. And then with that, you can get the third shield down and clear. This is because I don't quite do enough damage to kill the boss after the second shield, so we need to do a third shield stage. And yeah, you can see I what needs to happen for a successful run is to kind of shorten the boss rotation before the second shield so that it doesn't do this sequence like the sequence it's currently doing. It takes a while. You can, I'm not actually sure if it's based on positioning or just RNG, but if you can get it to do the other attack and not that series of 3 attacks followed by the spin, then you can shave off quite a bit of time and get the third shield up faster. Yeah, unfortunately here you can see again that it does the sequence of 3 attacks followed by that spin. That spin, by the way, is super annoying because in order to properly iframe through it, you have to make sure that you completely are clear of the whole circle radius by the time your iframe runs out, which usually means you have to dash through the attack rather than in any other direction. Like you can see there, I had a successful dash because I dashed directly in the opposite direction of the boss coming through. Yeah, there's a lot of different things you need to keep in mind for this boss, and yeah, again here we don't have enough time to clear. Also, ideally you would not burst with Arle at all, but I have skill issues and I can't dodge all the attacks, so ooh, that one was pretty close, actually pretty close, but still not quite good enough. Not quite good enough because yeah, the second shield did not go up fast the way that we should try to make it. Yeah, that beginning sequence is pretty fun to dodge. I think trying to get attacks in between the very quick attack patterns of the boss is interesting to figure out. And if you aren't using Bennett, you kind of have to dodge basically every attack because the boss applies pyro. Cryo, which slows your attack speed. So if you get hit, you are losing a lot of DPS, But thankfully, Bennett applies pyro with his ult, so you can clear the cryo status. So if you are using Bennett, you can afford to get hit more than you could afford if you weren't using him. So yeah, he's really good for this boss, though you do have to pay attention to baiting the position of the boss attacks to make sure that she doesn't end up outside of Bennett's circle like she ended up here. That's not good. Yeah, I did not pay attention to positioning properly for this, but this is kind of a wasted run anyway, because you can see we don't have enough time. Although it is always satisfying to me whenever I see a successful dodge of that circle spin attack. That one is super annoying. Alright. I think that's... Oh wait, I also wanted to mention Yaimiko here. So in the reference clears that I watched that also used C0 Arlecchino, the clears used Fischl as the electro applicator instead of Yaimiko, and I think the clear I referenced in particular used tenacity of the millilith, which makes sense. Because Arle is already hyper buffed with this boss's gimmicks. So you want to buff her damage as much as possible. Oh wait, you can see here that the boss shielded up at around a minute and 10 seconds, which is a bit earlier than usual. I think I managed to bait the other attack sequence here instead. But yeah, we're still pretty early into this video, so it's definitely not this successful run. I definitely messed up later down the line. Yeah, this boss, honestly, I do really appreciate this boss. It's very fun. The attack patterns are pretty iconic. Quite annoying to deal with, but once you do learn, oh man, yeah, this could have worked if I was smarter about positioning, I think. Ooh, we are close. I feel like I should have just kept attacking with Arle instead of trying to set up my rotation again. If I had done that, I think that would have been a win, because Arle is already buffed a lot by the boss mechanics. But oh well. It wouldn't be that good of an ASMR video if it was too short. Anyway. Right, Yaimiko. I want to use my Yaimiko wherever possible. But yeah, you can see that casting her totems does take quite a bit of field time, even if you do the cancels do reduce the field time. And it's also difficult to do the cancels consistently unless you have a macro or something. Or maybe I just have skill issue, but yeah, that was good timing for the attacks. You can see that the boss got the second shield up at around a minute 17 seconds, which means this is promising, but clearly I messed up pretty bad again for this run, because it is definitely not the successful run. Ooh, yeah, I got hit by the health drain attack, so Arle needed to burst to recover HP there, which is not great. I think I'm going to bring out my standee for some tapping. This is my Furina standee that I've also used for tapping in some of my previous videos. I accidentally hit the mic stand just now, so I will have to edit that out. Alright, I think I'm going to go to keyboard sounds now. Keyboard sounds. seen the clears that use Jean and Sidween against this boss and the lightkeeper boss. That's quite fun, and perhaps an extra motivation for me to try for Sidween eventually. But, yeah. I don't know if there will be more bosses in Stygian that are humanoid and able to be affected by fall damage. Oof. Yeah, so many skill issues. But, you know what? I am proud of myself. I'm proud of myself for managing to get this clear. It definitely took a lot of tries, but I learned a lot, and even though it was pretty frustrating at times, I think that overall I did have fun. I like Stygian Onslaught quite a bit. I'm currently planning on trying for C1 Arle because, well, I do like Arlecchino quite a bit, and I think that I want her to be my primary Pyro DPS because I will not be pulling for Mafuika. So I do think I need to give Arlecchino some vertical investment for her to fulfill that role in Stygian Onslaught Dire. For a boss that doesn't chill her, C0 is definitely not enough. Not enough, unfortunately. At least not with overload. It might be possible with Melt with Zitlali, but I don't have Zitlali, and probably don't plan on pulling her either. Oof. Man. Oh, I think it might be raining outside. Yeah, it's raining outside a little bit, so you might hear some natural rain sounds in this video. Natural rain sounds. Oof, that was really bad. I basically didn't dodge any of the attacks. Yeah, this is not the successful run. Though the timing of the second shield was good. It was good. Honestly, what determines a successful run is not necessarily the quality of the gameplay. I think in the actual successful run, I messed up quite a bit here. But because the second shield timing was good, that was enough. The shield timings matter the most. As long as you can clear the shields quickly, then other issues are forgivable. sure if I'll be able to clear the next round of Stygian onslaught dire. We shall see, we shall see. But I am happy that I managed it for this rotation. I will be a bit more meta-conscious in my future polls to try and consider dire. But I also won't become just a meta slave for that purpose. Like, if there are characters I don't want to pull, I'm not going to change my mind just for meta reasons. But I guess what I'm saying is I will factor meta in a bit more than I otherwise would, and think in terms of what teams I can invest in, what teams for vertical investment. Luckily, I do like the new Not Cry units, the new Not Cry characters, quite a bit. So, I definitely will be set for the Columbina shilling, because I definitely will pull her, and perhaps multiple copies of her. We shall see. We shall see. I do really like the Selena Chronicles so far, though I was late in doing Acts 1 and 2 of the Archon quest in 6.0, so I am very behind on those quests. I wish they didn't have a 7-day cooldown. That's so annoying. The real life time gating is so bad. Oh, wait, here we go. Here is the successful run. Successful run. The shield went up at around a minute, I think 13. I don't quite remember, but yeah, anything past a minute 10 is acceptable. And you need to make sure the second shield goes down at around 45 seconds or more remaining on the clock. And then also, don't get smacked around after the second shield is gone. And yes, there we go, the third shield is up at around 30 seconds, which leaves us plenty of time to get the boss. And thankfully my rotation timings also worked out well enough to iframe through a lot of the attacks. Though you can see it's very close here, but we made it. We made it. We made it. There we go. All 3 dire stages cleared, and we have enough resin to claim once. And if it rolls all into crit damage, it could be good, so I saved it. But there we go. There we go. Stygian onslaught dire. I hope that you enjoyed watching and that this was a fun and relaxing experience for you. Please let me know in the comments if you have any requests for future content you would like to see from me. And yeah, the thing I liked the most about the weapon skins is finally replacing weapon skin looks so much better than that. Nilu is so pretty. So pretty. So pretty. Alright, and that is